Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Regional Admission Counselors of California Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening this evening as part of the RACC College Fair, so be sure to sign up for additional ones at the same site where you registered for this one, which is also where recordings of this session and all others will be available in about a week's time. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters, and we'll begin this afternoon with the University of Arizona.
All right, thank you so much. So as mentioned, I'm from the University of Arizona. My name is Shannon Smith, and I am the Southern California Regional Recruiter. At University of Arizona, we are located in Southern Arizona in the absolutely incredible city of Tucson, which is down in Pima County. Now, Tucson is the second largest city in the state of Arizona, but out there you'll find such an incredible sense of community and spirit. It's such an incredibly artistic, eclectic, and diverse city. And even though it is a large city out there, we are also located in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. So if any of you are looking to maybe get out, get some fresh air, go hiking, biking, just take in and enjoy and explore nature, there is no better place to do so. Our campus is centrally located out there with it, and we are a large campus. We're around 1 square mile overall, and we need all that space because we have over 35,000 students out there. Now, even though we are one of the 3 public universities in the state of Arizona, we have a diverse student body where this past year, around 40% of our incoming students were from out of state, and that includes a ton of Californians. Year after year, we're seeing more and more students join us who identify as ethnically diverse, and this is something that we love to see and support as we have 8 different cultural centers on campus, and we are also a designated Hispanic serving institution. Now, if you feel like hearing that 35,000 students is just too many and you'll just be one of many in a crowd out there and there won't be a lot of support for you, that's not the case. At Arizona, we are proud to be fully staffed up, and we have the 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And additionally, we have so many other incredible support programs and resources for students to ensure academic success, whether it's our SALT Center, which is the only program of its kind in the US to help support students who have documented learning challenges or difficulties, our Think Tank, which is our free or fee-based tutoring center, and all the amazing academic advisors available in the A Center at our newly built Student Success District. In addition to academics, we are a pretty social campus as well, over 600 different clubs and orgs. D1 sports, we're a member of the Pac-12, so there is always something going on out there. Now, to help accommodate all those students, we have hundreds of majors for you to explore. So some of our more popular areas include our Eller College of Management, which is our top 20 ranked business school. We're also big in the sciences, especially the health sciences. We do run the only public medical schools in the state of Arizona, also have colleges of nursing, pharmacy, public health. Our engineering program has 15 different concentrations. And if you're interested in the arts, there's no better place to be, as our College of Fine Arts, with its programs in dance, visual art, theater, film and TV, music, are set up to be in a really kind of cool conservatory style experience. So you get that experience while being in a large university. Many of our students will double major, triple major, add on a minor, so you can get really creative in what you are doing. And no matter what you're studying, if maybe you're interested in being involved in our honors college, so a bit more of a kind of rigorous course load there, really unique opportunities, we have that as well. No matter what you study with us, we are all about providing you with a 100% engaged learning experience. So what that means is early on, and sometimes as early as your first year, we want to get you out there in the community, get you doing research, get you internship experience so that you can really build up your resume while also working on your degree with that. And having said that, we are an R1 or Tier 1 research institute. We're also the only university in Arizona that's a member of the prestigious Association of American Universities, which just goes to show how much we invest in your education and research experience. When it comes to applying to us, it's an easy process. We have rolling admissions. We're still actually accepting applications right now for fall 2021 admission. Our application deadline is May 3rd. Applications for fall 2022 will open up on July 1st. And with that, we have our own direct app, but we also accept common and coalition apps as well. For admissions, what we want to see from everyone, regardless of your major, are the core classes that we have on this slide, which we like to call our Sweet 16. So we will only look at those courses and your letter grades from 9th through 11th grade when we calculate your core unweighted GPA for admission. For the majority of our majors, if we calculate you with a 3.0 or higher, you are assured admission. However, programs like engineering, architecture, and pre-nursing will have some additional requirements. We are fully test score optional as well. No letter of rec is needed, and there's no personal statement either. From a financial standpoint, we like giving out free money where possible. And with this, every admitted student is automatically considered for a merit-based scholarship. I don't have a scholarship chart just yet for fall of 2022, but you can get an idea of what we have recently been awarding for fall 2021 here. Also at Arizona, we have a program called Guaranteed Tuition, which means that you don't need to worry about any tuition rate hikes for your base tuition and mandatory fees for your 4 consecutive years of study. So that is my very quick introduction to all things University of Arizona. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or want to learn more. You can also check us out online virtually at arizona.edu/visit. We also are now offering in-person campus tours as well, and I'll be sure to put my info in the chat with you. So thank you so much, everyone.
Great. Thank you, Shannon. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from Colorado Mesa University.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Mia, and I'm the admissions counselor for Colorado Mesa University. I know a lot of us might not be familiar with Colorado Mesa or Colorado in general. So just to kind of acclimate you really quickly, we are a medium-sized university. We are public, and we're in Western Colorado. So I think a lot of us here today are in California, and we're actually the closest university to you. So once you drive past Utah, we're 30 minutes past the Utah border, and we are in Grand Junction, which is the largest city between Salt Lake City, Utah, and Denver, Colorado. So you can be assured that we have lots of fun things going on and everything you need to be healthy and safe, and of course, have fun. So again, with us being a medium-sized university, that puts us right now at about 11,000 students. And of that 11,000, that is predominantly undergraduate students. So, you know, you're going to be on this campus atmosphere where everybody's kind of in the same life cycle as you. So it's really exciting. You're getting to meet people from all around the country, all around the globe, and getting to be on this really personal campus. So not only are you getting this awesome degree graduating, but you're also getting to make just amazing relationships that you really can't make elsewhere. I think that was definitely my favorite part of being a student here, was some of the friendships and relationships I got to make. So again, acclimating you. This picture that you see here is the Colorado National Monument, and that is actually about 10 minutes away from campus. So we are in a high desert climate, and this area is kind of like a mini Grand Canyon. So if you like to hike, mountain bike, rock climb, this is the place to be. But if you also go 10 minutes in the other direction, you're going to end up at the Colorado River. So if you like to raft or paddleboard or anything in the water, we have that. And then you go 30 minutes in the other direction and you end up in the mountains where our ski resort is. So tons going on and lots to do, especially if you're somebody that likes to be active. So none of our majors are impacted. I think that's something really important to point out, is that when you're leaving California, you're kind of having an easier experience going after the degree you want. Currently, we have 114 majors, and the majority of those are direct entry, though nursing, radiology, sciences, and our teaching program are not direct entry. You do have to do a secondary application once you hit your sophomore year at Colorado Mesa. So I do want to highlight a few of our most popular programs, ones that we're definitely known for. So this picture that you see here, top left, the girl that looks like she's taking a picture of dirt, this is actually our forensic investigation research station. It's an hour away from our main campus, and this is where our criminal justice students, our forensic students, spend a lot of time. And what this forensic investigation research station is, it's actually our body farm. So we actually have human bodies here that our criminal justice students, forensic students get to interact with, do a bunch of research with. So some of you guys are probably cringing right now, and some of you are hopefully thinking that's awesome. For those of you that thinks this is going to be awesome, forensics really is one of the best programs that we have. We also have a crime scene investigation house right down the street from campus where you get to set up crime scenes, work with local law enforcement to solve them, and then kind of have classes that take you through the whole court system too. So really such a fun program with a lot of success coming out there. To the right of that, the picture that looks like you're looking into a dining room, that's actually the steakhouse inside of our teaching hotel that opened this past fall. It's a 60-room hotel right in the middle of campus. People do stay in there, but it's all student ran. So our hospitality management students are the ones doing the day-to-day operations of the hotel. Our culinary students are the ones running the steakhouse in this hotel. And when you back up in time a little bit, our construction management students were the ones who built the hotel, and our graphic design students were the ones who designed all of the marketing materials for our hotel. So hospitality management, definitely one of our bigger business programs, but we do have accounting, marketing, entrepreneurship, sports management. So many amazing business programs that all have really cool hands-on components like that. We did talk about nursing a little bit, definitely a competitive program, but it's stellar. Our nursing department is actually a hospital that the university purchased and renovated. So you're getting to practice in a hospital setting before you even move into your clinicals. And when it's time for clinicals, we have 3 big hospitals within 10 minutes of campus for you to get your experience in. And then finally, bottom right picture, this is our human performance lab. So if you're somebody wanting to get into kinesiology, athletic training, you're going to be doing tons of work with our athletes on campus and people around the community, helping them optimize their body, getting to do research. And it really is a fun program that also matriculates really nicely into our physician's assistant program on campus. So with all that being said, 88% of our classes have less than 40 students in them. So it's a personalized education experience from the very beginning of your college experience to the day you graduate. We did talk about outside activities. We have tons of it, hiking, biking, everything you could want to do. On campus, 190 clubs and organizations, 26 Division II sports, and lots of ways to stay active. The last thing that I do want to point out to you is that we are a WUI school. So if you come from any of the schools, states in red or blue with us at Colorado Mesa, and you have a 2.5 GPA, you get that discounted tuition that you see here in this middle column compared to out-of-state tuition. So it's a huge discount. And again, all you need is a 2.5 GPA to get that, and it brings down the cost dramatically. And you do get to stack our merit scholarships on top of that. So we really make it accessible for you. And just know that I, as your admissions counselor, am here to help you every step of the way. We are a school that's on a rolling admission deadline, and our application for the next year will open August 1st. And it is still open if you decide to apply this year. So thank you so much for your time. I'll be here if you have any questions. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from Denison University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin, and I am just going to start that up. I am one of the associate directors at Denison University, which is a small liberal arts college in Granville, Ohio. I'm not going to talk about a lot of statistics here, but I will point out, you can look at them here, and also I'll point out just a few. One is we're a small school, about 2,300 students, so certainly on the smaller side of institutions generally, and we are a 4-year residential community, so almost 100% of our students are living on campus all 4 years. I'm going to talk about some of this other information a little bit later, but I wanted to start by telling you about Granville and the location of Denison. So you can see here on the map, that is a map of the United States and where Ohio is, in case you weren't sure, which is totally fine. And also where Granville is within the state of Ohio. Here's a picture of pretty much the main drag of Granville. Granville is a very quaint, kind of actually more of a New England feeling style town. If you are a Gilmore Girls fan, it's like Stars Hollow in a way. We're about a 5-minute walk behind that pub up a hill. So our students definitely love the small town benefits that they have from going to Denison, farmers markets, coffee shops, meetings in coffee shops or restaurants with their professors, really great opportunities there. While we are in a small town, we are very close to Columbus. So that first slide said about 25 minutes. I think it's probably more about 40 minutes, just depending on where you're going, not because of traffic, like where many of us live. I also am regional in Los Angeles, but we're about 40 or so minutes from Columbus. Columbus, as you can see on this slide, has over 2 million people. It's the capital. It is the 14th largest city in the country, and Columbus is really cool. So there are really amazing kind of arts opportunities in Columbus. There are sports in Columbus. There is great food in Columbus. Truly, I think Columbus is a gem that people on the West Coast don't know enough about. And our students really love having the benefits of both the small town and larger city, because, you know, for social and professional reasons, Columbus is really, really helpful. In terms of kind of the academics and the experience at Denison. So Denison, we are a highly relational college. So just when thinking about mentorship, you can see here that when we polled our students 2 years ago, 92% of students said that they found at least one mentor at school. That's compared to, as you can see, 22% of students call it nationwide. You know, I said at least one mentor because it's very common for students to have 2 to 3 mentors, sometimes maybe one very formal one and an academic advisor, and then second or third just professor that really takes them under their wing. In terms of the academic experience at Denison, we have a lot of very traditional liberal arts majors. So English, psychology, biology, those are very popular. Economics, those are very popular, most small liberal arts colleges. But we also take more of a pragmatic approach to the liberal arts and have programs like data analytics, global commerce, global health, and among others as well, health, exercise, and sports studies. And so can you find those at other institutions? Yeah, it's not that easy to find at small liberal arts colleges though. So definitely some of the offerings that we have are going to be different than other schools that are very similar to us. Also, the classroom experience is much more collaborative and competitive, mostly small classes, not highly lecture. In terms of out of classroom opportunities or co-curriculars, there are over 165 different clubs, and one of them that I'm going to talk about more specifically is athletics. But before I do that, you know, we have essentially any club you could think of. And if you can think of it and we don't have it, great, you can start it yourself. One of my colleagues at another school said, you know, by the students, for the students, of the students. That is absolutely the student life at Denison. Athletics, we're Division III. And we have a great athletic facility, as you can see here. And also we have a lot of success. So if you want a smaller school with maybe larger school kind of athletic spirit, Denison might be a great place for you. If you're not into varsity sports, which about a third of our student body is a varsity athlete, no problem. Club sports or intramural sports are there, or just no sports at all, that's fine. But there is a little bit of a higher athletic vibe on this campus than some schools like us. While we are a very athletic focused school, we're also incredibly artistic. So same statistic, right? A third of the student body is involved in music ensembles. Same statistic as the varsity athlete stat that I threw out. This is our newest building on campus. We love it. It's the new home for theater, dance, and music. And I could nerd out about this for 6 minutes alone if I had the time. But my favorite thing about Denison, to be completely honest, is the incredible balance between the arts and athletics. So this is a school where artists are valued, athletes are valued. And I think that it's hard to find a school our size where that is really the case, where they're really kind of co-captains of campus. So I love that about Denison. You know, you can read most of this, but what I'll say is we meet 100% of demonstrated financial need. We're test optional, have been for over 10 years. Absolutely no plans to change that at all. We're on the Common App and the Coalition app. And we read holistically. If you have questions about any of this process, I'm happy to answer those. We are offering both virtual opportunities as well as in-person opportunities. We've actually been in person this entire year and have been offering virtual tours and in-person tours, and will continue to do so. With that, I'll leave my information in the chat, but if you have any other questions, happy to answer those, and I will pass it off.
Great, thank you so much, Caitlin. Just a reminder that the Q&A widget is available should you have questions specific about a given institution or broader ones for all of our panelists. Up next, I'm pleased to introduce Johnson & Wales University.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pat, and I am from Johnson & Wales. And today we're going to be learning about the two campuses that we offer. And with Johnson & Wales, we, as a private university, have been in existence for over 100 years. And the two campuses are located in Charlotte, North Carolina, which has about 2,000 students, and Providence, Rhode Island, which is our original campus with 8,000. We actually have two different locations in Providence, and one is dedicated specifically to our culinary and hospitality students. We have long been known for those two majors, culinary and hospitality, and business for decades. And we have expanded to now focus on these additional areas that we have. And with those, you have opportunities to look at doing internships, which is part of the graduation requirements. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. This is showing over 50 majors that we now offer, which are bachelor programs, and we also have a number of master programs. Within the health sciences specifically, our physician's assistant is one of our newest, which has become very competitive in just 2 years. The culinary arts program that we have been so well known for also has now expanded to become the College of Food Innovation and Technology. So this will give you kind of a breakdown of the diversity of the different areas that you can major in within hospitality, tourism, and all of them offer opportunities. We have learning labs in both Charlotte and in Providence. And this is where students actually are able to apply what they're learning and be in an environment that is very supportive. The average class size is about 19 students. So that really helps to ensure that not only are you applying what you're learning, but then when you go out and do an internship, you're actually getting work experience in that industry. All of our faculty are practitioners in the field as well. Our freshmen and sophomore students live in residential halls. We have ample space, and we have actually been live in-person classes in a very controlled, obviously supported environment that meets all protocols. And we will be continuing that this fall as well. The students that choose to live off campus for their senior and junior years also have ample choices. The city of Providence is right out in the water. It's a beautiful downtown location. And then Charlotte, of course, is inland, about 3 hours from the coast in North Carolina. This gives you a breakdown here of our different internship locations that we have. And we're very proud of the fact that about 71% of our students receive job offers after they have done their paid internship. We are a Division III university, and we have numerous athletic programs and clubs and organizations. And this will give you kind of a breakdown, as you can see, in the two campuses, what we offer. And we're always recruiting. So if you are still looking to start, we are accepting applications until July 4th. And I would still encourage you to apply, especially if you're an athlete. Our students are diverse, and specifically at the Providence campus, we have about 15% students who are international and about 9% at the Charlotte campus. So how do you apply? We are test optional. We have been for many years. and the admissions process application is free. We take a holistic view that you've heard from some of my colleagues tonight. And our average GPA is about 3.2. But if you have a GPA anywhere from 2.7 or higher, I'd really recommend that you apply and just add recommendation letters to it. We do take AP and IB courses as well. The health science degree programs are requiring a 3.0, but other majors are a bit more flexible. The average merit award is about $14,000 to $17,000 per year, and that is actually renewable for all 4 years. An important thing to remember when you're looking and considering different colleges. This has a breakdown here of our ratio and our tuition, and about 90% of our students receive financial aid. Here's the QR code if you'd like to take a picture of that for a moment with your phone for more information. And that concludes my presentation. I really just like to mention that Johnson & Wales is unique in that we allow students to take classes in what they're interested in their very first year and then complete internships. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. Just a reminder that we will have time for Q&A at the conclusion of our presentation, so feel free to submit those questions now. But up next, I'm pleased to introduce University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming and spending time with us all tonight. Been some really cool schools here, so I'm honored to go last and round things off. My name's Andrew. I'm a regional admissions counselor for University of Alaska Fairbanks, based here in Southern California. I am actually originally from Ohio, so shout out to Columbus and Denison, both great places, a great school. And I lived in Fairbanks for 3 years. I got my master's degree up there. I lived on campus, I lived off campus. I lived in a dry cabin without running water, which is a popular thing to do for young folks up there. So if you have any questions about moving to Alaska from out of state, about making that, adventurous trek up north, anything like that, I'm your person, so feel free to reach out. So UAF is a small to medium-sized public research university. We're based in Alaska's interior, right here in the middle. We refer to it as the Golden Heart of Alaska. And by living up in the interior of Alaska, you're going to be experiencing a fairly unique living environment, complete with, snowy winters, temperature lows of -40, sometimes even -50 a few times throughout the winter. But then in the summer, it'll get up into the 60s and 70s on average, and the midnight sun will come. That means the sun will be up until around like 2 a.m. and then it might set for a few hours. And in addition to that, you're going to see some wildlife on campus, namely moose, as well as some fox too. And of course, you're going to be able to see the northern lights, the aurora borealis, right from campus, just by stepping outside your residence hall. There's even an app you can get on your phone that helps you track the aurora borealis. But I have found that the best experience is getting a text from one of your friends that says, "Run outside, the aurora is out." There's nothing more exciting than that. If you aren't able to visit Alaska, or you just want to check out our campus, get a better feel for it, we are offering a virtual visit right now. There's a virtual visit that kind of takes you on a visual tour of campus, and then we also have an audio tour on Spotify that's led by one of our students. So please check out UAF if you haven't already. So I like to tell students that you're going to get all the best parts of college at UAF, but in the farthest north U.S. city. So we are pretty far north. We're 200 miles south of the Arctic Circle. A gem that's near us is Denali National Park. If you drive just 2 hours south of campus, you will get to see Mount Denali, the highest peak in the United States. And if you are thinking of coming up to visit Alaska, you'll probably fly into Seattle, Washington, and then you'll fly from Seattle straight into Fairbanks. We have an international airport there. But yeah, we're in the farthest north U.S. city. What's more exciting than that? You can see the sun here during the winter. That's the sun setting or rising and setting on the winter solstice. This will be your backyard. It's a bunch of black spruce trees, some kind of long stretching country roads. You can even see the Alaskan pipeline there, but you're going to get to do all the things that you want to do. You're going to live in a residence hall. You're going to have student traditions. You're going to be, you'll be able to apply to an honors college if you want to. There's international study away, national study away within the United States. And as you can see here, one of our student traditions is snapping a photo in front of our temperature sign when the temperature sneaks below -40 for the first time each winter. These students are all braver than I am. They strip down to their swimsuits, as the first year students like to do. I kept all my clothes on, but different strokes for different folks. Just some highlights and just kind of general information about UAF. Like I said, we are a small to medium size. We are a public research university, a Lancian space grant university. That means we get funding to carry out research in all three of those areas. And we're also a world leader in climate change and Arctic research. So if you're interested in science, if you're interested in engineering, technology, if you're interested just in research and even community involvement related to climate change, the changing world around us, there's no better place than UAF up in the Arctic to study all of that. You're going to get the best of both worlds with us. We're a relatively small campus, about 5,400 students on campus, a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. But because we are a national public research university, you're going to have the resources and funding and opportunities of, say, a larger state college. And then we also offer WUI for all, the Western Undergraduate Exchange. If you're from a WUI state, you automatically receive WUI for all 4 years at UAF. We also offer in-state tuition to active duty military veterans and their families as well. And Fairbanks has excellent Thai food. If anybody out there is interested in Thai food or loves Thai food like I do, Fairbanks is the place for you. Student life is very active. We are not a party school, but we are a social school. You know, whether it's our Wood Student Center putting on a movie night or hosting a PopCon, like a pop culture convention, or maybe our physics department is hosting a stargazing night outside of the Reichard building up on Westridge campus overlooking the Alaskan Range. There's always something to do, especially during the winter. And so there's going to be plenty to do as a student at UAF. I personally enjoy the live music scene, both on campus and off campus. There's a lot of overlap between the UAF community and the Fairbanks community, especially when it comes to the arts. These are just some kind of outlines of our different degree pathways. You can get one of those 1 or 2 year degree programs at our community and technical college, or you can go on for the 4-year bachelor's degree program or the master's degree program. Like I said, STEM majors are very popular at UAF, specifically because of our different facilities. Engineering majors are going to get a chance to kind of get a DIY sort of do-it-yourself experience with internships and research at UAF. I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to zoom through here. We have a lot of opportunities for students who want to become firefighters or emergency responders. You'll get action in the field, responding to real calls while you complete your degree at UAF. Here's kind of what the tuition will look like. If you look here, this is the rate for an Alaska resident, a little under $10,000. And then WUI, if you are coming from WUI State, that's your automatic tuition and fees for 4 years. Then if you're completing your degree online, we actually offer 13 bachelor's degrees entirely online. That's going to be your tuition rate for that online degree. And then we also offer a couple of scholarships upon admission, and those are renewable scholarships too, so you get those for all 4 years. Applications are still open for fall 2021, so there's still time. Just try to apply by June 15th. That's the last time you can be considered for these renewable scholarships. We're waiving the ACT and SAT score through 2025. And then you're going to have the option for a single room or a roommate. And we will be fully in person this fall, offering a mix of in-person and online classes, but fully on campus, offering 100% capacity of online class or in-person classes we're able to, with some options for online as you deem fit. And then the application for fall 2022 will be opening on June 16th. Like I said, my name is Andrew. I am a proud UAF alum, a fellow out-of-state student, and a former UAF writing instructor, and just a proud UAF community member. So feel free to check us out on Instagram. We have students taking over the story a couple times a month, sharing their experiences, things like that. Also, just reach out to me, text me, email me, call me. I'm happy to talk with you about UAF. Thanks, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrew. And at this point, we'll bring back all of our presenters, as we do have some time for some quick Q&A. And if you have any questions, certainly feel free to drop those in the Q&A and we'd be happy to pose them to the group. But I think one question that many times prospective students will ask is what kind of a signature event or tradition, something that the students on your campus really kind of look forward to each year. And if we could go in the same order as our initial presentations, if you don't mind leading us off, Shannon.
Thanks. So at Arizona, we are all about traditions as we are the first university out there. And one of my favorite ones that I always like mentioning is our spring fling. Now, we sadly couldn't have it this year because we're a university that's all about health and safety. But since 1974, we've been running the largest student-run carnival in the US here. And the cool thing with that is it gives our student clubs and organizations the opportunities to not only be super social with each other and everything and have a cool event in the spring, but also it's a great opportunity for them to build up some practical experiences to add to their resume for event organization, marketing, fundraising, all that kind of cool stuff. And most importantly, it allows us to give back to the community in Tucson and the surrounding areas as well. And so it's a great event that they always hold. Hopefully we'll be able to hold it again next spring with that. And if we do, that's a great time to come out and visit our campus as well.
Awesome. At Colorado Mesa, I think the coolest event, definitely my favorite, is our big concert that we do every year. All students vote on it, and we go down from picking out the genre to the artist, and it's always somebody usually on the Billboard list. So it's a pretty fun concert. We have tons of vendors, and it's free for all students. So definitely a fun perk of being a student there.
I'm sorry, my internet went out for a second. I think it's my turn. Sorry, just as Mia was passing it off. I think probably one of the students' favorites is our alumni weekend, which is hosted in the spring, and just tons of alums come back. And there are a lot of kind of like club alumni events that happen all over. And so I love that Denison does that while students are on campus very, very intentionally to bring the two groups together. And that's what a lot of students say when I ask them this question.
Hi, at Johnson & Wales, we have a tradition where the culinary arts and hospitality students have a competition that involves cooking and also design and marketing. And we are able to have really the whole community of students involved. And of course, the fun part is the tasting. We weren't able to do it last year, but we definitely planning it this year again. And this will give our students a chance to really get to know each other, so it happens in the fall, and it's also tied with a alumni weekend. So a lot of our alumni will come back and share their experiences, and many of them are the ones that wind up hiring our students for internships and for their first job.
Yeah, so my favorite campus tradition at UAF is called Starvation Gulch. Think of a bonfire like times 100. A bunch of different student organizations and offices on campus get together during the first week of school and build giant wooden infrastructures. I think they max out at 20 by 20 feet. And with the help of the university fire department, they set them on fire. And then we all get together, the different student organizations, we'll pass out free swag, hot cocoa, grilled cheese, things like that. And we'll just kind of all hang out and from a safe distance, enjoy the giant bonfires and just kind of bond during that first sort of homecoming weekend.
Great. Thank you all for sharing those events and traditions with us. And we have just a few moments remaining. And if anyone would like to, certainly don't all need to if you don't have anything, but as we do have many juniors in high school kind of viewing this webinar, if you have any kind of tips or insights that you would share about how to approach the college search process, those would be great.
Yeah, I can definitely mention something here with it. So we are only 5 out of thousands of universities out there with it. So my main tip here is get organized with your college research process. whether that means creating an Excel spreadsheet or some sort of system for you to keep a set kind of list of characteristics or questions that you want to have answered, dates, deadlines, all that kind of good stuff there. And to help with that organization, you know, a lot of us universities send emails, so maybe you might want to create a specific college or university specific email so that you have one place that you can go to always check for updates from us.
I love that. I think my piece of advice really is if you are building your college list and you are even open just a little bit to going out of state, which I assume all of you are because you're at this RACC fair, at least try to tour one out of state college because it's such a completely different experience. I know some of us can kind of get scared or nervous about it, but I promise you it's so worth your time to do it. And even if it's not where you go to school and end up committing to, getting to spend time in that different culture is so much fun.
I think those are both great. My advice would be just like, just relax a little bit because it is very stressful, but like, it's going to be fine. There is a college, as Shannon said, like we are 5 of thousands. There is a college for everyone. There are community colleges. You can always transfer colleges, right? If the first time it maybe doesn't work out, I transferred colleges. Like, and it's really going to be fine. I think there's a lot of stress, especially right now with the news and May 1st coming up, a lot of articles, I think really raise the stress level up. And I just would encourage you to like take breaths and know that we're all here to help you.
I would agree with that. And I also mentioned that when you're doing your research, you really want to think about what size college or university that you would feel comfortable in. Do you want to be in a big school, a small school? You know, that is so important to really see where you're going to be comfortable. And only you know that best. And for example, at Johnson & Wales, we have only 8,000 students, but we have a big diversity of programs. So, you know, checking out the schools and seeing not only their size, but also what their acceptance rate is, because many of the schools that are here in California, the UCs, they have acceptance rates only like about 20% or even less. So it's so important that you're attending tonight, and then you really should look out beyond California and see, you know, what the acceptance rates are at the schools, so you have a better, you know, feeling of that you have a good chance.
Yeah, just really quick. I think just follow any schools that you're interested on Instagram and on social media, and especially Instagram. I know that a lot of students will take over like the Instagram stories, and there'll be like student features, things like that. So just hop on there, learn a little bit more about your school through the student's perspective, because, you know, like some of us are graduates of our schools, but hey, we're a little bit older. And so like, why not hear from the students themselves and get kind of a in real time idea of what it's like to be an out-of-state student at the school you're looking at.
Great. Thank you all for that great advice. And thank you to all of our viewers for tuning in as well tonight. At the conclusion of this webinar, you'll be prompted with a brief 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, just a reminder that this is one of many different sessions that's happening as part of the RACC Virtual College Fair, and registration for sessions later this afternoon are available on the same website where you registered for this one, which is also where recordings of this session and all others will be available in about a week's time. Thanks so much and have a great night.